April 2018, Juventus Stadium, Champions League quarterfinal. The ball comes in high, fast, and awkward. Most players don't even try it. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't hesitate and smashes in a bicycle kick that doesn't just beat Buffon, it silences 40,000 fans. Seconds later, they're on their feet. In 2009, Ronaldo moved to Real Madrid for £80 million. At the time, it was the most expensive transfer in football history. It came right after a Ballon d'Or, a Champions League win, and 3 straight Premier League titles with Manchester United. He didn't have anything to prove, but he walked into a Madrid squad that was broken, overshadowed by Guardiola's Barcelona, shattered by knockout exits, and still living in the past. Ronaldo didn't care. 80,000 fans showed up to watch him hold a shirt. He didn't smile, he didn't wave. He came to bury the old version of Real Madrid and build something new on top of it. His first season, 33 goals. But Madrid won nothing. Messi outscored him. Barcelona ran the league. That should have been a warning. It wasn't. Ronaldo went back to work, changed his body, lost the flair, gained muscle, became direct, efficient, lethal. You could see it season by season. The winger from United became a central striker in disguise. He wasn't trying to entertain anymore. He was trying to kill off games, and the numbers followed. In 2010-11, he scored 53 goals, scored 4 in one game, scored the winner in the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, a header that looked like a missile. That was the first crack in the Barca machine. Ronaldo wasn't trying to catch Messi anymore. He was trying to beat him differently, by being the one you couldn't stop, no matter how much talent you had around you. Then came 2011 to December, 60 goals in one season. Real Madrid hit 100 points in La Liga, a record. They broke Barcelona's domestic dominance, and Ronaldo didn't just score, he carried. Prime Ronaldo wasn't about one incredible year. It was about doing impossible things and doing them every week for a decade. Then came the shift. Carlo Ancelotti took over in 2013. Madrid brought in Gareth Bale. Benzema was already there. The BBC was formed, and Ronaldo stopped pretending to be a winger. He became a machine in the penalty box. No 1-2s, no dancing with the ball, just movement, positioning, one-touch finishes, headers, tap-ins, volleys, whatever got the job done. 51 goals. That season ended with La Decima, Madrid's 10th Champions League title. Ronaldo scored 17 goals in that Champions League campaign alone. Still a record, including the 4th goal in the final. That wasn't a stat patter, that was the hammer strike, and he let everyone know it. The next season, 61 goals, the most he'd ever score in a single campaign. He was 30. That should have been the end of his physical peak. Instead, he broke it wide open. Ancelotti got sacked. Rafa Benitez came in. That didn't work. The fans hated him. The players didn't respect him. And then Zidane showed up, and that's when Prime Ronaldo went nuclear. From 2016 to 2018, Madrid stopped pretending to be a title contender and became a European war machine. 3 straight Champions League trophies. Never been done in the modern era. And Ronaldo was the core of all 3. 2016, final against Atletico, goes 5th in the penalty shootout. Buries it. Trophy lifted. 2017, 2 goals in the final against Juventus. Trophy lifted again. 2018, that bicycle kick. 9 Champions League goals before the knockout rounds. He didn't just show up in the big games, he made the big games his personal highlight reel. And while that was happening, he went back to international duty and led Portugal to their first ever major trophy, Euro 2016. You don't need to like Ronaldo. You need to understand this. Portugal had never won anything. Ronaldo got them there. Even when injured in the final, he stood on the sidelines coaching like a lunatic. They won it without him on the pitch, but nobody forgets who dragged them to that final. Here's what people forget about Portugal's run. They weren't even supposed to qualify from the group stage. 3 draws, 3rd place, but Ronaldo dragged them through the entire tournament. Between 2009 and 2018, Ronaldo scored 450 goals for Real Madrid in 438 games. That's not a typo. That's 1.03 goals per game over a decade. 4 Champions League titles, 2 La Ligas, 3 Club World Cups, and 5 Ballon d'Ors, 4 of which came during this prime stretch. But here's the stat that breaks people's brains. In those 438 games, he scored in 74% of them. Think about that. In 3 out of every 4 matches, you could guarantee Ronaldo would find the net. Away to Getafe, goal. Home to Barcelona, goal. Champions League final, goal. It didn't matter. The man was a goal-scoring algorithm wrapped in human skin. People talk about Messi's magic. Fair. But Ronaldo's output wasn't about beauty. It was about violence. He wasn't creating chances. He was finishing them. He wasn't dribbling for fun. He was punishing you for giving him an inch. And if you needed numbers, they were always there. In 2014-15, 61 goals. In 2015-16, 51 goals. In 2016, 1742. In 2017, 1844. Every single season, no matter who the manager was, no matter who his teammates were, no matter what system was used, he delivered. The scary part? He got better as the stakes got higher. Regular season Ronaldo was frightening. In the Champions League, Ronaldo was something else entirely. Knockout rounds? He averaged 1.4 goals per game across his entire Madrid career. The bigger the moment, the more impossible he became. Ronaldo felt underappreciated. They weren't offering him what he wanted, not just money, but recognition. He wasn't a kid anymore. He was 33. Madrid thought his best years were behind him. They were wrong. Ronaldo walked. Juventus paid 100 million euros for a 33-year-old. Because they understood what Madrid didn't, this guy wasn't done. And right away, he proved it. Top scorer in Italy, Serie A titles, carried them in Europe. Same blueprint, same damage. In his first season in Turin, he scored 28 goals and broke a drought that had lasted 8 years. Juventus finally reached the Champions League final again. At 34, he was still dragging teams to places they couldn't go without him. That's not a decline, that's evolution. And then came the return to Manchester United in 2021. The reunion was a mess. Poor management, poor recruitment, no strategy. But Ronaldo still led the team in goals, still delivered match winners, still scored in the Champions League. Even at 36, he was still outperforming players in their prime. So, what was prime Ronaldo? It wasn't a season. It wasn't even a peak. It was a decade of total destruction against the best defenders, in the biggest matches, under the highest pressure, and with the spotlight on every move. Most players have a good run, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, maybe 1 Ballon d'Or-worthy campaign. Ronaldo did it for 10 straight years, in England, in Spain, in Europe, on international duty. And while he did it, he changed the way forward is measured. You don't get compared to your teammates anymore. You get compared to him. That's the benchmark he set. So how good was prime Ronaldo actually? Good enough to force one of the greatest football clubs of all time to rebuild itself around his finishing. Good enough to drop 60 goals and still walk away angry about the one he missed. Good enough to take Portugal, not Brazil, not France, Portugal, to a European title. Good enough that even Messi needed to keep scoring 50+ to keep the debate alive. And good enough that long after he's retired, players will still be chasing the standard he left behind, and most of them won't get close.